Hey guys, welcome to round 2. We've won a die roll, so we're going to play first. And this hand's a little tricky because we don't have a second land. However, we can play 5 of our spells, and 2 of them are 1 mana 2/2. So I think we're actually going to keep this hand. And I know I've been keeping a lot of these sketchy hands, but this time I actually do feel it's justified. So we're not going to mulligan this. See what our opponent wants to do. He might not be here yet. So just overviewing this hand, we are going to lead on the 1 mana 2/2 and see what he's playing here. Drew 013 seems like a name I feel like I should know, but I'm not positive that I'm familiar with this guy. So he's leading on a Terramorphic, and he's going to reveal what land it is. It's an island, so this looks like it's probably blue-red post. We're going to go ahead and play out the second of our 2 power guys and hopefully draw a land next turn, which would be really good. We've got a lot of spells we can cast, and if he's going to 1-for-1 us, which he will be doing, we should be able to get things a little bit under control here. So he's going to preordain, and we'll see what he ends up doing with that. I still believe that he is going to be blue-red post, and I think we're going to need the lands in order to keep the momentum. He keeps both cards and gets a mountain, so it looks like we've got some burn coming our way, and we do draw that land. I don't want to reveal it yet. I don't think he's going to have days. We might as well play the land just in case he has days, and I feel like he'll be tempted to do something right now before we get the benefit of using the Sledder. But we do get the benefit of using the Sledder in case he is going to remove something. Now, our ultimate dilemma for next turn is whether or not we want to cast this, and I don't think we want to cast it. We also have the option of casting Chain Lightning on him to the face, but I don't think we're going to do that either. So we're just going to leave the Sledder back so that we can turn these on, and we'll leave up Chain Lightning, leave up Sack, and all that. So he's going to cast a Lava Dart. So he's actually a Storm deck, I'm guessing. So our options are to keep the Sledder alive, which I don't think we want to do. I think we're just going to sack it to give somebody else a power boost, and that's pretty much it. So he's going to be able to take out our second Sledder, but he's also going to be taking a lot of damage. I think we might actually just bolt him on his end step. That'll drop him to 11. Then we hit him down to 7, and we have him very close to dead. So he's put both on bottom, and he's got the flashback here of sacking a mountain. So I think we might be okay. I feel like I should bolt him down to 11. So we're going to need to free up some of our mana here. 11, then he goes to 7. And then he goes to 3. So, yeah, that seems fine. And we draw the mountain. So we can actually matron for a Bushwhacker here, which I think I'm going to do rather than play the Sledder out. This really just puts him dead in 1 turn, which I like the sound of. Get a Bushwhacker as opposed to anything else. We can't, unfortunately, tutor up the Martyr of Ashes. Hopefully he cannot combo off in time, but he's basically got 1 turn and he knows it, so he's going to make the attempt, that's for sure. We do have some outs to empty the Warrens minus Bushwhacker in the sense that we can draw our Martyr of Ashes. We don't really have any way to get Sledder through for damage. Okay, he's going to go off here. That's the first spell in his Storm count. He's got 7 cards in hand, so he's got to go for it. So now he's at 3. So he dies straight up to Chain Lightning. He has to kill us this turn. Otherwise, we've got the victory. Hits a land, but he doesn't have another red source, and that's probably what he needs, I'm assuming. So here we go. He needs to have Bushwhacker, otherwise he's dead. Preordain. So this is going to be a big deciding factor here. Bottom, top. So he's got something he likes, and that is not a good sign for us. So he might have just gotten there with that Preordain. 3 cards, 7 mana. Here comes the next Lava Dart. And now I think we're actually just dead. But we gave it a good run. We were very close to getting a victory. And now we're facing off a whole slew of goblins here. And I don't see us coming back from this if he has a Bushwhacker. 8 guys, 16 guys. So this is going to be GG. Nothing we can really do. And I don't think we played particularly poorly or made a mistake. I think the keep was okay. We did have him dead pretty quickly, but he was able to get there with this storming off. So we're going to go to game 2, and we're going to have to pull out these next 2 games in succession. So GG, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. So sideboarding against Storm, there's really not much for us to bring in besides Seismic Shudder. We also have Pyroblast as an option. I think Death Spark is particularly poor in this matchup because using a card just to do 1 damage I don't think is going to be very effective. So I think I'm going to take those out for sure. And the only other card I can think of taking out would be Sparksmith, because he also doesn't really have applications here. Very narrow applications for both cards, but not really what we're looking for. I think we are instead looking for more interaction with his base of storming off. The other option is taking out Chain Lightning, because the advantage of the Sparksmith is it turns on our 1 mana guys, and it's another body. So I'm a little bit more concerned with Chain Lightning, though I think having some additional reach just to get over the top if he does cast Empty might be the better play. So we have some tension here, right? I mean, we have a lot of 1/1 creatures, and we have 4 board sweepers essentially. And I think Pyroblast is worth keeping in. So yeah, let's do it like this. I think it's going to be good. I don't really want to bring in Smash the Smithereens for his Stars or Lotus Petals or anything. And none of these other cards really do much. Life Staff is very marginal. So we're going to go to game 2. Got a bit of an uphill climb, but let's see if we can pull it out. Alright, welcome to game 2, and we're going to play first here. And this hand looks pretty nice. We've got the Seismic Shudder. We've got the turn 1. The only thing is I think on our turn 2 we are going to be tapping out, which is a little dangerous. But I think it's worth the risk. So let's not mulligan. I don't know that he's fast enough to go off on turn 2 and straight up kill us. I think we're going to have to chance it because we need to advance this game plan of attacking him. So if we don't draw another creature that we can cast, we are going to Bushwhacker for the full amount here. He might have a Hydroblast. Draw a War Marshal, which is actually going to equate to more damage with a Bushwhacker. So I think the option is hitting him for 4 now, or hitting him for 2, and then next turn hitting him for 9. And we don't have any coverage next turn. If he goes to 8, then he takes 9. He goes to 9, and we're not safe. Or he takes 5 now. It's really tough. I think I am just going to cast a War Marshal, though. Don't know if that's correct. In my other decks, I like to hit for the hardest amount of damage early against these decks. But here, when we stand to gain so much more by using Bushwhacker with these other bodies, I think might be the better play. So this is during his main phase. He's casting a Brainstorm, which means he probably has an what's it called, a fetch land to maximize the efficiency of this Brainstorm, shuffling away some cards that he doesn't need. So he's got a Preordain. He's going to probably bottom these cards. I don't think he wants them. Yeah, he bottoms both of them. We don't know if he has a red source yet, so that's kind of affecting our decision. I'm not going to pay the echo cost here because I'm either playing Bushwhacker or leaving up Seismic Shudder. So yeah, we're going to let it go. And we draw a Bolt. So we don't have anything to protect us. You know, we can play a Bushwhacker unkicked, but I think we want to just go for it here. You know, the options are to play it unkicked, attack for 3, play it kicked, attack for 9, or not play it at all and attack for 1. So I think this is going to be our best option. We do die to a Bushwhacker, but I don't really see a better play here. We want to give him as little amount of time as possible. And not going to use the Chain Lightning because it might put him into panic mode and make him feel like he has to go off right now. But I'd rather try and get him to risk one more turn, which might not be correct actually. You know, we can bolt him to 6, and then he's actually dead if he doesn't go off properly. So he is going to go off though. Okay, let's see what he can do. If he just has empty and no Bushwhacker, we're looking pretty good. This is 4. You know, I don't think it was wrong to not leave up Seismic, but maybe it was. I've never played this specific matchup, so I can't say. We'll just have to see. Hopefully he only has empty. And then we just kind of hose him. So if he doesn't kill us this turn, we have a burn spell as an out. We also just can wipe the board with Seismic Shudder. And he's deciding what he wants to do. He just drew a card. He's figuring out how to storm most effectively, most efficiently. And I don't really know what else to say. It could be the case that we are able to bolt a creature in order to stay alive. But I highly doubt it, considering the fact that he's cast a lot of spells already. He's already cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to get at least 12 guys. So with a Bushwhacker, we're simply dead. There's really no two ways about it. And he's seeing a lot of cards. He chose to shuffle, which is good. And he may not even have the empty. He may just be trying to go off. He doesn't have enough. Okay, he has enough mana to cast empty and cast Bushwhacker. But now he doesn't unless he finds a Lotus Petal. So I think we've actually won. And he bought them both. So he might not have the storm. So it looks like we got it. Alright, we got game 2. So we're going to game 3. It's going to be a nail biter. We are on the draw, which is a kind of a problem. Just looking at his cards, he does have a lot of targets for the Pyroblast. So the only thing I'm wondering about is whether or not I should bring in Sparksmith just to have more bodies on the board. And I don't know if I should. These burn spells would have put us at a victory last game. We still got 28 creatures. We've got 3 tutors. And I mean, it's really just an option of Chain Lightning or Sparksmith. And I think on the draw, Chain Lightning might just be that extra reach that we need. So I'm going to leave it like this. I could see using Sparksmith instead, but I'm really not sure. And yeah, we're going to leave it like this and go to game 3. Alright, welcome to game 3. We've got to hope that our opponent mulligans into oblivion. So here's the issue. This is a perfectly serviceable hand in terms of the fact that it curves out. We get a Bushwhacker by turn 4, but against his deck, him keeping a 7-card hand, this isn't going to get there. If he has a combo, we just don't we're not fast enough, and we're not gonna win. So I think I'm actually gonna mulligan this. I'm gonna mulligan pretty aggressively against a storm deck, and we're gonna go to 6. Though this hand is perfectly fine against most of the field. Okay, so here we've got a hand that's a little rougher, but it does have a faster clock because we have a 2 power guy on our turn 1. It's still not that great, especially as a 1-lander. And having the matron doesn't do a whole lot for us. I'm a little tempted to go to 5. So on turn 2, we're hitting him for 2. Turn 3, we're hitting him maybe for nothing. And we just have this burn that we're throwing at his face. So I actually am going to go to 5. This can really fall flat if we don't draw any more guys. Like, we have to draw land and guys in the right mix, otherwise we're just dead. So, and this we're going to have to run with. It's a little bit better if we draw land, and we do have a Pyroblast, so I'm going to keep it. It's better than going to 4, and I don't think it's really that bad, though. You know, it's going to depend on how quickly he can really go after us. So. And I have no problem mulliganing this aggressively against his deck. He's probably going to ponder or preordain here. He's going to ponder. And he doesn't shuffle, so he's happy with what he's got. And we draw another guy. We're going to lead on our 2/2. Next turn, we're definitely going to play Cohort. We might even leave up Pyroblast. I don't think we will if we draw a land. We may just end up playing Cohort, playing Cohort and then saying go. So he's really setting up here. It's going to be tough to beat. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be pretty tough to beat. He keeps the land potentially and bottoms the other card. And we'll see what else he's going to do. I guess he's waiting to see if he wants to save this next blue spell. If he wants to see what I have in hand or not. Okay, so he's just going to pass. He might have a Hydroblast. We do draw a land here. So I think we're going to go with the Cohort first. And he might attempt to Hydroblast. Yeah, he's deciding what he wants to do. I could leave up my Pyroblast, or I could play the guy out, which means next turn, if we resolve Bushwhacker, we hit for 8 plus 3 or plus 6 is 14. So that's just much more damage, right? It looks like he has a Pyroblast though, or sorry, a Hydroblast. So we may just want to blast his blast. I think I'm going to save my blast. I'm just not sure if I want to play out Goblin Sledder or not. He kept a card last turn. He may be trying to go off. I think our best chance is going to be trying to hit him for 10 next turn, dropping him down. And, you know, I'm not sure. I'm playing pretty aggressively, and my mindset is about putting forth as much damage as I can, but maybe I should be respecting his side of the table more and leaving up that Pyroblast. Because now we're in a position where we have to play Bushwhacker no matter what, because in order to attack with the most power, right? So we'll see. It's possible that he's not ready to go, but now he's kind of committed because, well, his life total is pretty low at this point, where I guess it's not that low. He's going to take 10. Yeah, he's definitely going for it, I think. Unless it's an impulse, maybe. Oh. Maybe he doesn't have the red. That would be best case scenario. And if we... Okay. Yeah, I think he's got Pyroblast for sure. And we ripped the land, so I'm going to go ahead and just Bushwhacker him. If he attempts to counter, I'm going to counter his counter. Okay, well this is nice because we get him to take a lot of damage and we still have Pyroblast. He's not particularly dead. If we draw a guy, he's dead. So he's got to go off here. I'm going to throw Pyroblast at pretty much the first thing I see. He doesn't have red in time. So even if we just draw a creature, we've got him. We've got 4 damage here. Yeah, I think we might have this here. This looks like we're good to go. Uh-oh. He is a little upset. But we're going to go ahead and let him have it. Put him to the sword. See what he wants to do. Looks like we might have the game. We do. We take the match, guys. Very narrow. I can't believe how lucky I've been getting against Storm these days. I think that luck has just expired. This was probably my last cash in for that. But we are 2-0 with this Goblins deck. So looking forward to the next matches, and I hope you guys are too.